Welcome, everyone. The purpose of today's event is to walk you through the professional development section of our website. And we do this with three goals in mind. First, we want you to explore and discover the professional development resources we have that promote family engagement. Second, we want you to learn some practical ideas for how to use the resources. And third, we want you to have a chance to connect with other professionals interested in professional development and family engagement. And we'll do this through an open chat at the end of the event. And before we fully get going, I want to remind you that all of the resources we'll discuss are free and have been developed with a few core assumptions in mind, namely that family engagement matters for student success, and because of this, teachers need time to learn and practice family engagement skills on an ongoing basis, which unfortunately often does not happen as much as it should. We also know that when it's done well, professional development goes beyond the one-shot workshop, and that quality professional learning is best when it is interactive and solution-based. So all of the resources we'll look at were developed with these values in mind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. And as it loads, I want to emphasize that we invite you to use the resources we have really as starting points. Whether you're a faculty member, a parent trainer, or a coach, or someone who works with families in community settings like after-school programs or libraries, we invite you to be innovative and creative. So don't feel locked into just what we recommend. Take these resources and really feel free to go with them. So here we are on the HFRP homepage. Go to Research, Family Involvement, and Professional Development. And you'll see that the Professional Development page is divided into 6 sections. We have cases, case-based interactive tools, digital simulations, human-centered design thinking resources, and fine newsletters, and reports and articles. So let's get started with the cases. A case is basically a story that invites critical thinking and problem solving. But unlike stories, cases leave readers with a cliffhanger. Readers need to interpret the situation and come up with their own solutions. And you'll see that on our website we have a number of cases available that deal with a variety of dilemmas across different ages and communities. And what makes cases such a powerful tool is that the skills you practice while analyzing the cases are the exact skills you need in real life to engage families well. Learners are forced to think critically, problem solve, consider multiple perspectives, and see family strengths, which is what engaging families is really all about. So each case has a few components, so let's take a look. Each case comes with a case narrative, and the case narrative includes the cast of characters and each of their stories. Cases have discussion questions, which facilitators can use to guide learners through the issues in the case. And our cases also come with recommended readings, and many come with instructor notes. And to request a draft of the instructor notes, all you need to do is send us an email to fine@gsc.harvard.edu. And many of our cases also include commentaries, where experts in the field give their opinions about what they would do to solve a particular case. And if you go back, you'll see that throughout the website, we have a number of ideas and activities that can be paired with cases to really make them come alive. So for this case for example, we invited faculty members to try out the case in their courses and write about their experiences. And if you see below, you'll see that 2 professors created a reader's theater to pair with the case, one a fishbowl activity, and one even a mock team meeting. And if we look a little bit closer, you'll see for the reader's theater that Marcia and Persida chronicle how they used the case. And you'll also see all the types of questions that they asked in their student reflections that help them to assess student learning. So what you see are the questions they asked the students as well as the students' responses. So let's go back to our professional development homepage. We're going to go to research areas, family involvement, and professional development. And the next resource for us to take a look at is the interactive case. And an interactive case, in essence, is really, it's a twist on the cases I showed you a few moments ago. And what I love really about the interactive case is that you don't need the explicit input of a facilitator to learn from it. It's great for individual professional development hours, for the professional who wants to reflect on his or her own time, and in group settings as well. So in this case, you'll see that all of the people in the case are in a row at the bottom of your screen. And what you can do is you can click on each of them to read their narrative. So if we click here, we click on Maya, who is a kindergartner who's having a little bit of a rough transition to school. And we hear from her perspective about what's going on. And then we have a chance to reflect. We have a chance to reflect on her strengths, her fears, concerns, and worries, and what she wants to have happen. And once we write in our responses, when you click Done, additional insights pop up. And in this way, an interactive digital conversation really starts to take place. And then we have a chance to move on to other perspectives in the story. We hear from Maya's mother, her teachers. We have a chance to look at some supporting data. And by the very end, we have an opportunity to piece it all together and really come up with some solutions that can make Maya's transition easier. So let's scroll back to the top and go back to the professional development homepage to take one more look at a case-based resource. We'll go to Family Involvement, Professional Development, and we're going to go to the Create Your Own Case Toolkit. And the Create Your Own Case Toolkit is another twist on the case, but what we've done here is developed a tool that helps practitioners write their own cases. And the power of this is that practitioners have a way to reflect on their own lived experiences that then becomes the basis for teaching others. And what's also so powerful is that through writing stories, we reverse the common practice of having experts tell practitioners what to do. Instead, via this toolkit, practitioners create professional development tools for and with their peers. And it's also a resource that can be used by families to spark conversation and new ideas. So you'll see that the toolkit comes with three main elements. And it comes with a 6-step process to help people write their own cases. And each step comes with exercises that can help the writers write their case well. So for example, if we click on exercise 1.1, learners and users of the toolkit are given an opportunity to think about a family that surprised them, was special to them, or they had much success with. I'm going to go back. The second element of the toolkit is really a case collection. And we have here a compendium of 8 cases written by outreach workers here in Cambridge, Massachusetts, that can be used to inspire writers or simply to be used as a basis of discussion with others to improve your family engagement skills and knowledge. And for example, you'll see here in our first case that Corinne Bury really struggles in her case with how to best reach out to a mother who's been hard to reach. And you can read her story and really understand how she came to engage that family well. And the third component of the toolkit is a facilitator's guide, which describes specific ways that the toolkit can be used in different professional development settings. In essence here, what I want to emphasize is that the toolkit is a little bit like, mix and match swimwear. You can use any of the exercises, any of the cases, any of the steps, really, in any order that you'd like. And you don't necessarily have to use the toolkit just for case writing. You can use any of the elements on their own or as a jumping off point for other new ideas. So I want to be mindful of our time, so I am going to go back to our professional development homepage. I'm going to go to Research Areas, Family Involvement, and go over to Professional Development. And what I'd like to point out are our digital simulations and human-centered design resources. And, Digital simulations are really these incredible tools that provide learners ongoing opportunities to engage in virtual conversations with families. And these digital simulations that we have are available on the Head Start website. And what's really exciting about these digital simulations is that they're interactive and invite the user to make decisions about how to set goals with families and engage in meaningful conversations. And what's great is that the user gets real-time feedback on the decisions they are making. So the conversations change based on what the user decides. And based on our own assessment of its use among Head Start grantees, we've learned that it's one of the most popular tools offered. And it's used individually, in group settings, and also by supervisors as a coaching tool. And if we go back to the professional development website, I also want to point out our human-centered design thinking work, in which we explore how human-centered design thinking really opens possibilities for new family engagement strategies. And human-centered design thinking is powerful because its emphasis is in helping educators get into the mindset of the families they serve and get inspired to build new ideas based on family strengths and desires. And stay tuned as we add some specific activity examples that you can use in your own work to this section. And to round it all out, we also have a number of reports and articles that provide more insights into the importance of professional development in family engagement. So with that, I am going to hand it over to the next portion of our event, to our live chat.